want to get ready to jump?
Yeah.
I would appreciate it. Right about now would be good.
No. Yeah.
Do you want to take one of those shafts and hammer it in the ground, or?
Yeah.
Do you want to grab some chairs? Might as well get comfy unless you just want to sit up manly in the dirt. Dude, I want to sit out here on the end where I have a good view and nice breeze. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, that's a little crazy there, buddy. That thing's going to cave any minute. You'll want to keep your video over there. That thing's ready to go over. I don't feel any, like, yeah. You're a dork. I can't believe you're doing that. That's just insane, dude. I'm not coming after you. I'll send the intern to jump in. He's the lifeguard. Yeah, no, I think we have a problem.
What?
You sitting on the edge there, because I'll have to get wet going after you.
Why?
Can you swim?
Me?
Yeah.
Of course I can swim.
No.
My native name is Ubruk.
Oh, that's true. What's that mean again?
Particularly large seal.
Yeah, that's very attractive title there you got. I think the ramp is like the neutral, ollie auction free part.
They
you know
have
what I'm
like
saying?
It's not ollie auction free.
What is it? It's a free auction.
It's not a free auction.
What is it? What is it then? You're from Wisconsin. You guys got your own names for everything out there. Everything's a cheese. So what do you know?
It's ollie oxen free.
What?
Oxen, not auction.
Auction. I said auction.
Oxen, like
Oxen?
like driving oxen. Ollie oxen free is the way that.
What's a cow have to do with this?
What does an auction have to do with it?
I don't know, but I'd rather go to a free auction than a free oxen. I mean, I'll take the oxen if it's free. And if his name's Ollie, that's cool.
That way you don't have to name him.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, can I have that oxen? I hear he's free. And his name is
Ollie.
Ollie.
Ollie oxen free.
And his last name is Ollie because he's Ollie.
Now I don't even know. Is it oxen or auction?
See, I got you thinking about this.
See, even
It's
the
like
intern says that wouldn't make no sense.
What, auction?
He goes, yeah,
Why would auction?
He goes, it's probably oxen because auction don't make no sense.
What's that mean? And then how does that play? You play
that
tag.
makes sense.
You
No.
can't tag me because I'm a free cow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, because when your oxen gets free, it's hard to get back.
Yeah.
So when you get free, it's ollie oxen free and you're all running around.
You know what? I'd Google it, but we're in the middle of nowhere.
I was 20 years old. I had finished my third year of master's commission. Well, hadn't even finished yet. We were a couple weeks from graduation. And I didn't know where I was going to go to after that and had ministry credentials with the assemblies, but I just wanted to serve in Alaska. And our leadership in our district knew that we had connections in the village, and they knew that we had ministered in Fort Yukon. And at the time, I just called up our superintendent and said, how can I serve? I have my credentials, been doing this discipleship thing for 3 years. I want to help where I'm needed. And apparently at the time, Fort Yukon was, in his words, one of their problem villages. So I said, yeah, I'll go up there and fill in as the interim pastor. About a month before my 21st birthday, I moved up to fill in and just fill the pulpit. And I was labeled as the interim pastor just until they could find someone. It just all kinds of hardships. I mean, there's no fuel oil in the tank a lot of times. We had one of the first things that happened is I went out for graduation at Master's Commission, and I was gone for like 4 days, and the house froze up, and all the plumbing froze up and busted everywhere. And again, 20 years old, never done anything with plumbing, and so it took me 4 months here's how I learned how to do plumbing. I didn't have internet at the house, but the school said I could use their internet, but only after hours. So this is like November, December time, coldest time, 60 below. I would take my laptop and I would go down by the school after hours in the middle of the night, and I'd sit on the porch of the school because it's all locked up, and I'd take my gloves off enough to search Google for, and the internet wasn't fast enough for videos, so I'd search Google for PDF documents on how to solder. how to solder pipe and how to solder, what tools I needed and stuff. And I'd gather up as many documents as I could on that topic, and then go home and open it up and go through, and I learned to solder pipe and stuff. It took me 4 months to solder up the whole house with copper and everything, and in the meantime I was hauling water and heating it on the stove and stuff like that, and just the stuff like that was was kind of a hardship to overcome. And just again, the firewood was a huge issue. We had a really bad wood stove that just burned up all the firewood in like 2 hours and couldn't keep the house warm, and things like that. That was kind of just like became normal for me. And it's cool that God introduced me to Fort Yukon through tons of hardship, because now I feel really spoiled. I mean, we have a Blaze King stove that heats the whole house for like 8 hours on a load of wood. We got fuel oil in the tank. It's like where we are now, it's easy to be thankful. But so I went up to Fort Yukon. About a year later, we're calling with the superintendent, and he's like, how are things going there? And he's ready for a bad report. There'd been a lot of bad things happening in Fort Yukon over the last decade. And I said, well, here's how the church is doing. Here's how, this is how many people are coming to church, and here's how our youth group's doing, and here's the finances, here's how they're doing. And he's just like, wow, okay, well. And I said, well, how's it going on you guys then? You have any prospective pastors and stuff? And he goes, yeah, I'll get back with you on that. And so he called me up and he goes, I think we found someone. I'm like, okay, cool. In my mind, I'm thinking, where am I going to go next? And he goes, you want to take the job? And then about a year and a half after I moved up there, I married my wife, who was also from the same discipleship school, and she moved up. And then we had a little boy 4 years ago, and then this last February we had a little girl. And so it's our family, it's life.
If it lands over here, that's just weird. I think he's doing his fancy turn, and you can't get the landing to this. Your landing, that won't work. Yeah, the ramp. Is it? Oh, would it really? Okay. Yeah, I was really hoping you could drive them up, because you could lay a lot of pallets up here, but is everything on pallets?
Get the barrels up first, stick them up here, and you guys can roll those out. Yep.
How many we have total of wood pallets?
6 pallets of wood.
And then how many pallets of fuel? All right, barrels first, good idea. For the crew, made these a couple hours ago. Cinnamon rolls.
Thank you, sir.
I just don't like the idea of pallets sitting on that edge. I'm telling you, I've been watching it all couple weeks. We lose 5. If they can push it back, then they can do it with that. Would those ramps get you up here? Would the ramps get you up here, or would that be the same problem?
Probably the same problem. We have to be way off. We gotta lock into place on the valve.
Oh, gotcha.
We have to be way off. We have nothing to sit against.
Well, here's what I like about these barrels. New, they're $90 a piece, so I reused them. I saved $900. He's coming. Oh, you're on it.
Got it. Trusty leather man.
Make sure you roll that direction. Really?
I suggest turning those up.
All right. Thought this should be it. That's great. Thank you.
Just don't let it roll that way.
And then how many pallets of...
6.
He sure washes his hands a lot. Should I be doing that? Yeah, and you can get attachments like crazy. Hi, buddy. It's my friend right there. Yep. Don't scare my friend. What's the matter with you? Cultivating a relationship, and you just scare them off like that. Don't scare them. They eat mosquitoes. They're our friends. You don't like my dragonfly warrior? Yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah, one thing I do is like we'll get a list in from Pastor Ron and or the rest of the team. Like say Angela ran out of butter and she'll text us, and not only butter, I mean there's tons of stuff. Like this year, Pastor Ron had me getting crazy stuff from Home Depot, like lag, nut, screw, bolt thingies, and I'm like, I do not know what this is, and I'm having to like go to the Home Depot guy person, and I tell them this is what I need, and I show them a picture if Pastor Ron can send it to me, or if it can even get through. And if not, I'm waiting in Home Depot. Sometimes I sit in the lawn furniture area just waiting for them to text me back if I'm like I have a question or whatever, and they're not able to get on the internet, or maybe he's going on the gravel bar to pick up supplies or whatever, so he's not there, and so I just have to wait. It's a lot of waiting, and it's way better than the earlier years where we had a satellite phone and we had to dial all these numbers in, and then it was like sketchy connections or whatever. So now we actually have internet where they're able to text us at least, and sometimes FaceTime. And so yeah, it is just getting weird random items, and if I can get it donated, like a lot of times I'll go into the business and I'll just say, you know, who we are, and a lot of them want to support us. A lot of them are looking to partner with people who are doing stuff in rural communities. Thank you. I think you see the guy that needs me to. Okay. Okay, awesome. So he said that you could give us the batteries?
Man, that's low. Hey, I got PGM here. Looking for a $100 donation if you could of lithium AA's. I know. Alrighty. Bye. She said also if you guys wanted any AAA's, we could do a combination of the two.
I don't know if I should mention, you guys had already donated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you were here like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, we donate to all the time.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you. So I'll write all of these businesses in my phone as I go. Like after I go to one, I'll just jot down in my notes where I went and who I met and what happened and their number if they gave me their card. Hi Lorna, this is Maria Weber with TGM in Camp Nahshii. I'm just reconnecting with you concerning a donation request for Camp Nahshii. Awesome, thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye. Leave me know. Which is fine. It's fine. Well, the rejection can be hard sometimes, but it's really not me that they're rejecting. So over the years I've gotten a lot better with not taking it personally, just letting it be, you know, because a lot of them have donated to other causes, which is awesome. I think ours is the best and the most impactful. We're making an impact in people's lives as far as suicide prevention and keeping people from committing suicide. I think that's the most important. We are currently at the boat shop. I am going to go in and get some Honda 4-cycle marine oil for our Honda 150 HP. This is from Pastor Ron, item number 2 found at the book shop. Thanks to Daniel Cole. Yeah. Honda 4-cycle marine oil for our Honda 150 HP. Oh, this looks like marine oil, and it says Honda Marine on it. Okay, well, looks like this is our deal here. So he wants 2 to 3 gallons, and there's 4 quarts in a gallon, so that's 4, 8, 12. What are we gonna do? What are we do? Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna get on my rubber boots. I didn't really choose Alaska, but then I encountered God in Master's Commission. And And then I didn't care where I was. I just cared that the gospel was being spread and that people were getting to know God like I knew him, or like I encountered him, and in the real way, in the tangible presence of God way. And so then I started going on outreaches with this Master's Commission to the villages, and really fell in love with the Alaskan people for sure. And yeah, definitely have a passion to reach all people, but I just happen to be in Alaska, so I'm reaching the Alaskan people.
My passion for mission work in Alaska is to see disciples raised up and to see young people trained up as leaders for their villages, and to basically find strength to stand firm in their faith and go out and do what God's called them to do. When I was younger, I remember feeling really burdened in my heart, watching like God move and people connect with God in the villages, and then things would go back to the way they were before. And I remember feeling like frustrated by that. And when I was 18 and getting discipled, the Lord reminded me of that and was like showing me how there's just such a need for discipleship in Alaska. And in Alaska, there's a lot of communities that have church buildings, but they don't actually have people serving there. And if they do have someone serving there, there may or may not be a vibrant outreach to young people. And that's my passion, is to see young people get discipled and be trained up as leaders. And I want to see the youth of Alaska be able to stand firm in their faith and just continue on with what God's called them to do.
So I became a missionary in 2006. I joined a discipleship school called Master's Commission that Ron Pratt was the director of, Ron and Yolanda Pratt. And that's where I first got discipled, first encountered God, like the living God. Like I always knew about God, but I didn't really know him personally. And so that's when I really encountered him and decided that I wanted to do more than just live the normal life that people live, like just go to college, go to work, get retired and then die. Like I wanted to live an exciting life, and with God that's what happens.
What made me choose Alaska? I don't think I chose Alaska. I was born and raised here, and so when I got saved, or when I came to know the Lord, God just basically reminded me of things when I was younger, and that would, he would bring back to remembrance things when I used to go back and visit my family and friends in the village. And I remember observing things that they went through in their home life and stuff, and thinking, this is not right, like this should not be happening. And I remember thinking, I want to come back and help someday. And in my own mind, apart from God, I thought, well, maybe I'll be a counselor or a teacher. I'll do something that I can have a chance to impact, kids. And then I kind of forgot about that. And then when God called me, he reminded me of that and basically showed me that he wants me to be a part of reaching youth in Alaska. And because I was born and raised in Alaska, it was just kind of a natural thing, It wasn't something I chose, it was something that God called me to, and I just said yes.
What excites me the most about doing missionary work here is just the fact that I get to see others' lives change just like mine was. And so, like I said, in 2006 is when I really encountered God and really knew that he was interested in my life personally. And then ever since then, I wanted other people to know him like that. And that he's not just a grandfather out in the sky somewhere, but that he wants to know us personally and have that that close relationship. And so what excites me is when we go out there, because honestly it would not be worth it at all if these lives were not getting changed and transformed by God. And so when I see that take place, when I see girls say, I'm not going to go back and do the whole alcohol thing anymore, the drug thing anymore, and I'm going to live my life for Christ, and see them come year after year, come back and continue to get discipled, that's definitely what makes it worth it, to keep doing all this, stuff that's hard, but worth it because their lives are getting changed.
Okay. So Pastor Ron wrote a little note in here, and it says, we need 3 full pulley mechanisms, not the metal housings, just the full plastic guts. And so Daniel Cole said that he would know what that meant, and I'm gonna take this here thing in, and then I'm gonna go in and get some pull cords, 3 new pull starter parts for the sawmill, complete pulley guts inside of the metal housing. He said that we're gonna need VR8 EA, spark plug for Yamaha Kodiak 4-wheeler, 2 or 3 total. And then we need 3 new pull starters parts for the sawmill.
Okay, what sawmill is that?
Pastor on? Hello.
Hello?
Hi, Pastor on.
Hi.
Hi, I am here at the Woodway right now,
Yes?
and the gentleman was asking for a specific model number.
It's stamped on a tag
On what?
on the Briggs and Stratton. It's stamped on the tag off of the engine.
Oh, model number off of the...
Yeah, not the
I don't know, I just know it's...
no, the Briggs. There's a tag on the Briggs engine, and it's actually stamped into a metal tab.
So if you have something down, so you can like look at it and kind of match it up.
I can look and see. I don't think I do though.
We can try that. I can get some river models from Camp.
Okay,
And before I can go and look at that machine.
okay. I'll see what I can do.
Well, they're going to be the same as, I think, Honda. They just have to develop it.
This part, he wants this part, and he wants 2 extra.
1 rebuilt and 2 extra.
Okay, so rebuild it.
3 new pull starter parts. Does that make sense? And then a complete pulley guts inside of the metal housing. And you can't do the spark plug for the Yamaha because that's not new. And if you are working on the 3 new pull starter parts, and then the Cavalier pull cord for the sawmill and 4-wheeler. Cavalier, 10 to 12 feet of it. Indicated he wanted the Kevlar cord, but they have a Honda type cord here. Do you think that would suffice, or? Oh yeah, that's what. So what do we do?
I can order it, and I have it here probably next Tuesday before Yukon.
Well, you said 10 W30 oil, 4 engines, and then the chainsaw oil is separate, right?
Well, he says it's separate there, but I'm wondering because he doesn't list it, I don't know if because he's only given 1 quantity amount, I don't know if he's lumping the 2 together.
I think instead of saying the amount right here, you just put lots. This is the story of my life. This is the story of my life. No, seriously, like this happens all the time. Like, well, I'll have to just wait at a business and get the further details. Because he did say GDP young.
Well, since the beginning, it was dedicated as a place of healing, and that's definitely what it is. And over the years, we've been able to see different teams come and just invest into this land, invest into the youth of Alaska by giving their talents and their time to help develop the grounds. Now we have like all these different structures out here that we didn't have in the early years. Camp Nahshii's become a part of summer life out here in this region for the youth, and I get encouraged because we get to hear glimpses of their testimonies, you know, of the young people, and they just share how much Camp Nahshii has meant to them, and they just share how they don't want to leave and they love it here and they wish they could have Camp Nahshii year round. And really what I hear when they say that is they love what God is doing and what God has done in their lives.
Whatever, Chad. That was my effort. The edge is like right here.
Okay, 2,000 pounds right here.
Yep.
And so he's gonna stack him with 4,000 pounds teetering on the edge of the Yukon River.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's not scary at all.
But they will float. They fall in.
All we gotta do is hook a
Oh
strap.
no, you'll float.
All we gotta do is unstrap them before they hit the river.
Yeah, I'm
So
on
if they
it.
start to unstrap, if they start to fall in, just make sure somebody
Dive in with a
with a knife and nip them and strip them so that the pallet, so that the plywood floats to the top, and then we can collect it along the river.
Yeah. These are great ideas. That would be the worst case scenario if it falls in the water.
But he would have to go under Aquaman style and like.
No, he's only trained
Would
for
it float?
saving people.
It would float as a bunk, wouldn't it?
I
If
don't
each-
save objects, I save people.
If
I don't
each-
think it would
hold on.
float.
If each piece has buoyancy of its own, then the entirety of it should have buoyancy, right?
Should.
Yeah,
It would float.
I don't think so.
I think it would.
It's compressed wood, 2,000 pounds is going to go down like a brick.
So each piece of plywood wouldn't float?
I don't think so.
You don't think a piece would float? We gotta test that out. We gotta put one piece in the water and see if it
No.
floats. One piece.
No way.
I think it'll float. You think it'll float? Would. Yeah, Google this when you get back. We got two things to Google. If it's ollie oxen free or ollie auction free, and if a piece of, oh, it's a half-inch OSB would float.
I'm all wanting to drop up about like as if I hear Billy. There's that whole thing, you're like, no, I want to stop it. There's 4,000 pounds, my way.
People ask me, you know, how do you find God's plan for your life, His will for your life? And I say this, you know, basically, whatever you feel that God's called you to do, you'll know it's God's plan for your life when you hit hard times, and instead of whining about it, instead of complaining, instead of, you know, looking for a way out, you find that peace and you have that comfort in your spirit knowing that I'd rather be here than anywhere else. And so, like, you know, me and my wife had those times where we had to pray together and hold our hands and be like, you know, God, it's our last, you know, the stove has our last load of firewood in it, and we don't have any fuel oil and we don't have any heat for the next day, and we have to just go to bed and know that when we wake up in the morning, God's going to take care of us if He wants us here. And being able to like really rely on the Holy Spirit and just sleep like a baby, you know, in the minute, and just wake up after a nice long sleep and just not being stressed out. You know that's a calling. You know that God put you there if you can do that in your life. And so that's just a little bit about, you know, how I got to Fort Yukon, how I've stayed in Fort Yukon. We have plans for the future. We got a building project going on this summer and fundraising for another building project, and God is doing awesome things in Fort Yukon. So